Hey guys, and welcome to the Silent Code Dev. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the position absolute. Okay, what is the position absolute? How does it work? And I can promise you guys that you're going to understand what this means. And there won't be any confusion because I'm going to do a visual demonstration of how it works. But before we start, let's read a little bit about the position. Okay, I pulled out, as you guys can see, the MDN web docs, and let's just read. So the position CSS property sets how an element is positioned in a document. The top, right, bottom, and left properties determine the final location of the positioned elements. So what it means is that when you use position absolute, and you can use, that's the value, that's the property and value you use, top, right, bottom, left, that's what you use to control the element inside its parent element. Okay, so you can position it where you want. So position absolute is when you apply that to an element, you're taking the element out of its normal web flow, right? You're taking out of its normal flow because all elements in CSS have the position static, which means that it's the normal flow, right? It's the normal flow. Like when you put something, it's gonna stack, it's gonna get next to each other like that. But when you say position absolute to an element, it's going to be positioned relative to its parent element. So what does that mean? Let me show you guys, okay? So here I have an empty index file. I only have the boilerplate and I have a style CSS. I'm gonna show you guys how position absolute works. So let's just, this is the body, and let's just create a div with a container. Okay, and we're gonna create inside the container, we're gonna have a box like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and I'm just going to do body, like, let me show you guys. So I'm gonna do container height 400 pixels, width 800 pixel. Okay, and border 5 pixels solid black, like that. So when I do like this container has position static. Okay, and it's just, that's the normal. When you put something on the page, it's gonna be, the position is gonna be left top, right? Because that's the normal. So now I'm going to show you guys how position absolute works. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna center this. I'm gonna center this. So I want to show you guys what's gonna happen. Okay, so this is the container, and then the box, a pixel, width, 100 pixel, background color red. All right, so as you guys can see, we have a red box inside the container, right? Show you guys here. This is the red box inside the container. So the container is the parent element and the box is the child element. Okay, so to use position absolute, I'm gonna use that here, right? So when I use position absolute, you want to have it relative. For example, if you want to move the red box, sorry about that, guys. If you want to move the red box inside here, like that. So if you want to move the red box inside the container, you need to put position relative on the parent element, because if you don't do that, I'm going to show you guys what's going to happen. So now we're going to remove this, right? And when you type in position absolute here, and let's say we do top 0, so you guys can see it moves, because how is it moving outside the container, right? It's inside this container. This box is inside the container, right? That's the parent element. So how come the box is moving out? The box is moving out of the container. the parent element, because it's gonna go to, I told you guys that position absolute is going to be positioned relative to its parent element, right? But because container doesn't have a relative position, the position absolute is going to be applied to the body. Okay, so for position absolute to work, you need to apply position relative to the parent element. So if I put position relative here, you guys are gonna see that it's gonna go back into the container here. Okay, like that. Okay, so always when you want to move something, right, let's say you have a position absolute here, you need to put position relative to the parent element. Otherwise, it's just gonna go to the body, or it's gonna go to another parent element that has position relative. Okay, so yeah, so as you guys can see, I wrote top 0 here, right? You can write 1 pixel, it's gonna move 1 pixel on the top, it's gonna move 1 pixel, right? We can do 10 like that, and you can do left 10 pixels, it's gonna move 10 pixels left like that. So if I remove again, if I remove a position relative, you guys can see it's still moving the same thing. The only difference is that because the parent element of the box doesn't have position relative, it's just gonna go to the nearest parent element that has that, which is the body, right? Because we don't have anything, so it's just gonna go all the way here. So this is still gonna work, but the only thing is that. So you have this, you can just move, you know, and you guys can see the responsiveness. Like that's a problem, you know. It's not really recommended because of the responsiveness problem, but I'm gonna show you guys use cases of this, right? Because sometimes you just want to make it. So when would you want to use position absolute? So let me just create a random thing. So we have the container here, and let's say that you're selling something, right? Computer for $100, something like that. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to just flex center, align to center. Okay, so this computer is $100. Okay, and you want to let your users know about this, right? So what we can do is we can add this box here, and we can just type for sale, right? For sale. So we can use this box again. Let's remove this. You can just say display flex, display content center. So what I'm doing here is I'm aligning the text, align item center. So the text is going to be like this. So we don't need this, I think. We need that. Okay, we're just aligning the text inside this box. And now I want to put this here, right? I'm going to let people know that this is for sale, okay? So what you can do is that you can position this. So we want it to go all the way. We want it to be top 0, and we want it to, let's see if I do right 0. No, we already have left here. Let's do right like that. And what we can do, guys, is that we can actually let's see, you can move it a little bit outside like that, and you know, you can do the same here, and we can rotate something like that. You guys get the point, right? But that's what you can use position absolute for, is just to put, I would use small things for it, and you can do something like that, right? So when people, oh, that was too much. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's basically what I use position absolute for. But usually I just use I told you guys I use like flex or grid, because position absolute is not really, something I would recommend to use. So I hope you guys learned that. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Again, as I said, I know it can be difficult to understand position absolute and just CSS in general. And the best way to learn is really to practice, and everything you learn, just try to play around with it yourself to try to understand. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.